obsession.
Today we're going to the Big Block Ranch, and that is where the audio went to shit once again. And yet again, the audio failed me while I was trying to take you on the road with this awesome montage of me traveling from our bus shop in the Idaho Falls area to my house in the Twin Falls area, stopping off at the Big Block Ranch in Rupert in between. But we're still going to do it. Hey everybody, I'm Kenny. This is Sagebrush Soul. And yes, we're going to persevere. We are going to the Big Block Ranch, home of the Obsession race team in Rupert, Idaho. But I wanted to take a minute to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and let you know what's going on with the channel. Because Brandon from DIY Love Life reached out to me and said, hey bud, you didn't give up, did you? But if you want to skip to the Big Block Ranch, if that's why you clicked on it, which I'm sure most of you did, go to this timestamp right here. And it should get you where you want to go. For the couple of you that are still here, I just want to tell you thank you so much for helping the channel continue to grow in my absence. We're still getting a handful of subs, so thank you for that. The reason that I've been delinquent in getting those things done or kind of absent, as I've alluded to in some of the previous vehicles, I took on some more responsibilities at the Zombie Rampage bus shop where we built those big monster buses. And on top of that, we had our inaugural corporate motorsports retreat and building the Buzz Factory, coming soon to Idaho Falls. I'll put a link to that in the description below if you like golf. I just haven't had time to get caught up on the 2022 season. And I've been practically living in the RV as a full-time RVer. The reason I look a little disheveled is once it got cold enough to freeze, I winterized the RV. So yeah, been doing shop sink baths. And I've been skipping the razor, being as we're in our something of an off season. But the good news, at the beginning of the year, it's all going to change. I have been doing a little bit of editing, a couple hours a night, and I think I got something for everybody starting on January 3rd. If you're into the DIY stuff, then we are taking my old 2022 Tahoe that I bought back from my nephew and turning it into an overland vehicle that will actually suit my needs over the road on tour with the Monster Truck Insanity Tour. The first of those will come out January 3rd, and they should be pretty consistent for 4 or 5 episodes after that. They'll come out on Tuesdays, so I call them Tahoe Tuesday. See what I did there? And for the vlog fans, I've still got all of our 2022 season. I've got all the footage, I just haven't got it edited, so I'll be working on those in the background, as well as some real-time updates and videos kind of like this one. And as I've been reviewing my videos, I realize I refer to people all the time by name that I haven't formally introduced to you. And at our last Monster Truck show in Elko this year, I went around and interviewed a bunch of people to be able for you to put faces with names, get a little bit of their story. And I was going to turn it all into one video, but it would have been a very long one. So I'm going to break them out into bite-sized pieces so you can actually get to know the faces of the names that I'm talking to with the Monster Truck Insanity Tour and Little Entertainment Group. And those will be coming out, and we're going to start with my partner in crime, Andy.
The hottest thing on the Christmas list. You can't get it on Amazon Prime.
There's only one, and you're not touching mine. Oh, and now on to the Big Block Ranch. You might be asking yourself, what is a Big Block Ranch, and why am I going there? Well, I'm here to tell you. The Big Block Ranch is the home of the Obsession race team. But you can't guess what they race. Nope, they race monster trucks. The owner and patriarch is Rick Swanson. He's got over 30 years in the business, and his story's a little different than almost any other monster truck driver you're going to talk to. When you ask him why he got into the sport, you're not going to hear things about, well, it's always been a childhood dream, or I was obsessed with it, which he is, it's in the name. He looked at it from a business perspective. His background is into racing dirt bikes and building and selling custom trucks. His foray into the monster truck world was kind of to be able to sell t-shirts and novelties and things of that nature. In fact, the first truck he built, he had no intention of driving. He actually built it for his wife, Jill, to drive. And here's a shot of her testing a few years back in Gravedigger. You could say it was one of the early adapters of the marketability of women in motorsports, which we all know is a really cool thing. But his trucks never collected dust. In between shows, he kept them always looking good because his proximity before moving to Idaho was very near the TV and movie industry. And so the trucks have been featured in a ton of commercials, music videos, TV shows, movies, you name it. In fact, Rick is one of very few monster truck drivers that actually has a SAG card. Now, the reason we're headed to the Big Block Ranch is because that is also a location that we did our first ever corporate motorsports event with Live a Little Entertainment Group. In the process of CMR, we actually did some damage to one of Rick's side-by-sides. So I repainted his hood and I'm dropping it off on my way home for the holiday season at the Big Block Ranch. When I texted Rick to let him know I was coming, he said they had some really cool stuff going on in the shop, so I figured I'd take you along. And it should be noted that Rick gets behind the wheel as little as possible in the monsters these days, but his son Eric carries the torch and keeps the high-flying reputation in his obsessed monster truck. One of the top monster truck drivers I have ever had the pleasure of working with. Eric is definitely an incredible monster truck driver. He competed in the Young Guns. He's been in motorsports from the time he was just a little kid, eventually graduating to now in the upper echelon of the monster truck world. And in the 2023 season, we're going to sit down and have a long-form interview with him and Rick and get you a little bit more under the helmet of those two drivers. But right now, we're just going to take a quick tour and try to stay out of their way at the Big Block Ranch. Looks like we are here.
Ooh, look at that.
There you
All
go.
pretty.
Yeah, hopefully. Okay.
No, today's 7. Today's 7.
7 days into the build. And this is the new obsessed, right?
Obsessed.
All right. Holy crap.
Like it.
All right, well, we are in the shop at the Big Block Ranch, and we got real lucky. I'm glad that this is when we decided to swing by and give the tour, because the brand new Obsessed monster truck is underway right now. We got Eric, Rick, and Tanner.
Tanner Swinhart. I'm from Wauchula, Florida. I'm the driver of the Tannerite Mega Truck.
I don't necessarily want to call it secret, but very few of these kits go out anywhere but other than Monster Jam and are assembled off property, so to speak. So we got a very qualified person, Tanner, who builds them for Monster Jam. He knows what he's doing. He's out from Florida, getting ready to move to Tennessee. So he's been on this. You've seen him on Dirty Mother Truckers with his Tannerite Mega Truck. So a special celebrity appearance here among the other stars that are already here at the Big Block Ranch. But putting this thing together, we just took a look at the 3D instructions that are going on with this. This thing is the ultimate. I thought it was cool when I got to put the boss body together and do the whole fit the body pieces together and everything. This thing is insane. Eric just showed me a picture of how it came. It just came in a bunch of sections of tubes, and then they got to figure out how to put it together, and here we go. Boxes and boxes here of t-shirts and things like that. They do all their own merch here in-house, and I believe they're available online. If there is such a website, I'll put it. But all the t-shirt stuff back here where the back end of the hauler is, it hauls both of the monster trucks. You can see we've got these ramps built on here. Both monster trucks fit in here on the transport tires. I'll show you those here in a second, but they drive right up on these ramps. So in this trailer, they can fit 2 monster trucks, a bunch of spare parts, like transmissions and stuff, and then 8 full-size monster truck tires sit up there. And of course, the body of Wildcard sitting back there because the original Wildcard chassis has been sold. I believe it lives somewhere near Denver and will re-emerge under a different name. And Wildcard will be transferred to the Obsessed chassis, and Obsessed is going on the new chassis.
Bottom. And don't forget, once that steering column goes in, you're going to use the whole set.
As you can tell, Rick has done a very good job of collecting body parts from the Monster Jam shows and any other independent monster truck show too. We got a little bit of everybody's bodies in here. And if you're a monster truck nerd, you know the value of that fiberglass hanging on the walls. They're very sought after, very much collector's items, and that's why I didn't show you exactly the address of the Big Block Ranch.
Anniversary body. That was House MD, the TV show.
Okay.
This was Dole. The commercial was really cool. I mean, it was the biggest jump I ever did. It was ramp to ramp was 85 feet.
Holy cow.
And I cleared the landing the first time because I didn't know what it would take to clear it. I way overshot it. But the commercial was really cool because it was a new fruit drink, and the mom told the kid, picture your two favorite things. Well, he was playing with a monster truck, and he had his dog next to him. So that's how it became the dog.
Oh, gotcha.
That was all carpeted. And that tail would bounce back and forth. It was on a spring.
So all of the tubing that you saw made into a chassis right there came in these crates, just loose, just individual pieces of pipe cut to length and notched out. And they were able to take that and turn it into that chassis. It's pretty freaking cool. So this area right here, when I first came here to the Big Block Ranch, which was actually New Year's Day last year, I saw this area and I was like, oh my gosh, that's where they practice in the monster trucks. And it's not. Eric's kind of a wild man, and he's really good in his Can-Am, and that's what that track's built for. They also big into motocross. And when we did CMR here, we kind of closed it out with Eric doing a little exhibition run in the Obsessed truck. And just to let you know that the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, I told Eric, I'm like, man, that's pretty cool to be able to go out and drive your monster truck in the backyard. I don't know anybody else that can do that. And he said, that's not fun. They're not making money when I'm driving them in the backyard. Point taken. He's Rick's kid. This is the space that we did the corporate motorsports retreat, and this is where we did our final performance, where the attendees got to drive the boss, aka Wildcard, was right out in that area. And then over here is the UTV trail that we damaged Rick's Razor. That's the man cave right there, and eventually we're gonna go check that out. But super cool silo. Rick's got some cool plans for that. Gonna have an engineer look at the dairy barn there to maybe move the t-shirt and the printing. When I say printing, it's not just shirts, they're also getting into the wrap and sticker business. And I just got a couple of samples over here. My Obsession sticker and YouTube, make sure and check them out on YouTube. It's just Obsession Race Team on YouTube. I know this isn't the way you're supposed to get these, but hot off the press right here, full boogie tilt. And if you haven't checked it out on TikTok, you absolutely must, and you get a really hilarious look into the monster truck world. But you don't have to be in it to appreciate it. And yeah, you're gonna love it. But I got my full boogie tilt sticker, you know, black market. Burn it down! All right, entering the man cave. Actually, it's the everybody cave.
Yep.
Oh, right now it's the car cave.
Yeah.
Just slide in the front. It's not too far off. It is a little bit bolder metallic on the Razor. Hopefully it sticks. So this is one of my favorite things in the man cave. So this is Rick's first motorcycle he ever raced when he was a little kid. And then we've got Eric's over there. It is. Eric's over there. This is the first bike he raced, and they just keep on doing it. You can see the collection here. So that is the Big Block Ranch, and I should note, not only are they building that new truck here, but the brand new Warhead XL that has recently been revealed, but I'm gonna let Mike handle most of that. But go check out the Warhead monster truck page on YouTube or whatever it says down here. He's got something different for all of it, but they're on Instagram. They've unveiled the truck. Lots of new images coming out for Mike and the crew. But big thanks to Rick, Eric, and Tanner. Very nice to meet him. Check them out, follow them, Obsession Race Team on YouTube. You can see a lot of the races, a lot of the things that are going on, and you can actually see a lot more stuff of this build over there. But Merry Christmas, everybody. Hope you have a Happy New Year. Next time we'll probably be coming from the Buzz Factory. But I'm Kenny. This is Sagebrush Soul, and may the best of your past be the worst of your future.